Humans have a propensity to take our place at the top of the food chain for granted. We never stop to think about what makes us the most intelligent animals on the earth, yet humans take it for granted that we are. Is it our capacity for planning, our use of tools, the permanence of objects, or the development of intricate social networks? Some of those characteristics are shared by other animal species, and some show all of them. Here are the 10 smartest animals in the world. 10 rats. Rats have been used by scientists as laboratory study animals for many years, and this is not a coincidence. The brain structure and how their minds work are very similar to humans, despite the fact that their brains are little and somewhat underdeveloped. They are able to navigate mazes, memorize directions, and carry out challenging multi-step tasks. Rats are sociable creatures as well. They start to display symptoms of depression and loneliness when left alone. Because of these psychological and social variations, rats are among the most intelligent creatures. 9 pigeons. Ironically, pigeons, who are next on our list, are sometimes referred to as flying rats. However, the justifications for their placement here varied greatly. Pigeons have demonstrated the ability to recognize their own reflection, demonstrating a sophisticated level of self-awareness. They have the capacity to remember individual people and locations over the course of months or even years. Pigeons have been used to deliver messages over enormous distances for millennia precisely because of this memory. Pigeons are able to distinguish every letter in the English alphabet, as well as the differences between two humans in photos. 8 crows. Similar to pigeons, crows are another extremely intelligent animal species that have served as messengers. When engaged in conflict with other animals, they are able to use complex group tactics such flanking moves. Crows have a strong memory and can even learn to speak. Crows have been observed changing their migration routes to avoid hazardous places, according to researchers. Crows have even been observed memorizing garbage routes and schedules in an effort to more successfully steal a fast snack from the trucks. Crows are the avian species with the greatest brains, and they have demonstrated the ability to identify human faces. Despite obviously lacking hands and arms, they can also use tools. In fact, the New Caledonian crow can construct a knife to more readily remove leaves and grass. The same species also use a hook and line to access food sources that are out of reach. 7 pigs. When it came to our selection of the 10 smartest animals, pigs only barely beat out dogs. Pigs have an IQ level far greater than that of dogs, which is comparable to that of a young child. At only 6 weeks old, they can comprehend the idea of reflection, but human infants cannot do so until they are several months old. Pigs can communicate with one another using about 20 different sounds, and mothers sing to their young ones as they eat. Pigs react to emotion and, when appropriate, even display empathy, which is a very uncommon quality in the animal kingdom. 6 octopus. Our ranking of the most intellectual animals in the world only includes the octopus. You might be wondering how smart an octopus is considering it's the only one of its kind featured here. Captive octopuses have been recorded using high-order planning and several stages to escape from confinement, and some are able to purposely splash water repeatedly upon items even outside of their tank to do damage. They have even been known to toss rocks at glass and open jars with screw-on lids. These cephalopods are quite intelligent. They pose as boulders in the nature so they can move undetected. Octopuses move very slowly while imitating rocks, giving the impression that they are stationary by keeping pace with the water. When predators are present, they can move around unnoticed because of this. Utilizing both long-term and short-term memory, octopuses can also solve puzzles and navigate mazes. This facilitates them returning to their dens even after lengthy trips in their natural environment. 5 African gray parrots. The African gray parrot tops this list of the smartest creatures among birds. These parrots can acquire human speech and have an extremely broad vocabulary. They are thought to be as intelligent as a 5-year-old human, up to hundreds of words. Additionally, African greys are capable of learning the links between bigger and smaller, different and similar, over and under, and recognize and distinguish shapes and colors. The African gray parrot is a common pet that is domesticated all over the world. but it is originally from the Central African rainforests. For elephants. Elephants are among the smartest animals and are regularly mentioned for their excellent memory. These creatures have a complex social structure, and it has been observed that they lament their losses and participate in funeral rites for deceased family members. Elephants also employ tools and self-medicate. They will consume the leaves of specific plants to treat ailments and even trigger childbirth. They are also among the rare creatures that exhibit altruism. The majority of animals are incapable of processing the abstract thought necessary for such behaviors. Elephants will make the ultimate sacrifice if they think it will help the remainder of the herd or their young get away to safety. 3. Chimpanzees. On this list of the smartest animals, our closest genetic related comes in third. Chimpanzees originate from sub-Saharan Africa and share 98% of our DNA. Chimpanzees are skilled tool users, and it has been observed that they improvise tools from accessible materials to create the things they require. These big apes also employ psychological strategies. They will influence members of their own families to carry out particular activities. One unusual aspect about chimpanzees is that adults from a family unit were found to be teaching their children sign language. The most intriguing aspect of that discovery is that there was no human assistance or encouragement at all. The chimpanzees taught the kids sign language on their own initiative and were using it to communicate among the group. 2. Bottlenose dolphins. The bottlenose dolphin is frequently regarded as the most intelligent mammal. However, it comes in second on this list. How perceptive are dolphins? Since there are more than 8 different species of dolphins, only the bottlenose dolphin was considered for this article. They are the only dolphins without fused cervical vertebrae, which allows them to nod their heads in a manner like that of a human, and they have the largest brains of all their cousins. Dolphins can recognize themselves in mirrors, notice strange marks on their bodies in a reflection, recognize images on television, and have a remarkable memory in addition to being easily trainable. Dolphins have retained calls from a mate even after more than 20 years apart. The bottlenose dolphin ranks highly on this list for 2 astounding reasons that are genuinely astounding. They speak a language unique to their species, but when they come across other dolphin species, they switch to a common language, and they have even been seen working together to improve hunting efficiency with humans and false killer whales. 1. Orangutans. Orangutans come in the first place here for a very interesting reason. Much like chimpanzees, the orangutan is able to use tools, learn sign language, and have complex social structures that involve rituals. What really sets them apart is the cognitive ability to understand the why, or the reasoning behind a certain action. In captivity, an orangutan has learned tool usage and the process of building a simple structure. When researchers released him to the wild, they observed that same orangutan improvising tools from what he could find and then constructing a similar structure to obtain shelter from the rain. It's no surprise that the orangutan is so smart considering that it shares over 97% of its DNA with humans. Their tool use is of the highest order when compared to other animal species. They can be trained to use a hammer and nails, and orangutans even learn to use a hose to siphon liquids. Native to Indonesia, they are sadly critically endangered due to habitat loss.